Good evening, friends and neighbors. This is Santa Claus on this February 24th, 2026, bringing you today's stories with a heart full of hope, even as we reflect on some challenging news around our world. On this day in history, we remember the founding of the Nazi Party by Adolf Hitler in Munich, Germany, a somber reminder of how hatred can grow when we forget to love our neighbors and care for the vulnerable among us. Let us always be vigilant against such darkness by keeping our hearts open to compassion and understanding. Ukraine today, officials have firmly denied what they call absurd Russian claims about nuclear weapons. For the record, Ukraine has already denied such absurd Russian claims many times before, and we officially deny them again now, said a spokesperson for Ukraine's foreign ministry. My heart aches for all those affected by this conflict as it enters its fourth year, the children who haven't known peace, the families separated, and communities destroyed. We must keep praying for a path to reconciliation. Meanwhile, across the globe, President Trump's administration has swiftly pivoted to a different legal approach for imposing tariffs after the Supreme Court invalidated previous measures. They're now using Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974, which allows temporary import duties when facing what the law defines as fundamental international payments problem. This provision caps tariffs at 15% and limits them to 150 days without congressional approval. I do hope our leaders can find paths that bring prosperity to all workers and families, not just some. In a more hopeful development in Arizona, a remarkable construction project is underway that may help bring more manufacturing back to American soil. Apple is purchasing millions of chips from a massive new factory being built by Taiwan Semiconductor manufacturing. The project spans an area 2.5 times the size of Central Park in New York City. It warms my heart to see investments that could create good jobs for communities. Though we must remember that true prosperity means caring for all workers with dignity and fair wages. Turning our attention to concerns in the Middle East, there are reports that Iran is close to a deal with China to purchase advanced anti-ship missiles, even as tensions remain high with the United States. These developments come as Iranian oil loadings have reportedly surged to multi-year highs ahead of nuclear talks with Washington. How I wish for peaceful dialogue that leads to understanding rather than the rattling of sabers. Let us pray for cooler heads to prevail and for the safety of all in the region. In diplomatic news, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney will soon embark on a journey to India, Australia, and Japan, seeking to strengthen partnerships in energy, technology, and other important areas. What a beautiful reminder that by reaching out to one another across oceans and borders, we can build bridges of cooperation rather than walls of division. I'm concerned to hear about German car exports to China falling by about a third last year, continuing a decline that has reduced shipments by more than half since their peak in 2022. This surely affects many hardworking families who depend on these industries for their livelihoods. Let us keep in our prayers all those facing economic uncertainty. On Ukraine's battlefield, there's been a remarkable shift in how war is conducted, with thousands of inexpensive drones now dominating the skies. As Tank Commander Valentin Bodnov describes, heavy armor vehicles can no longer move freely without risk from these aerial threats. The ingenuity of humankind is truly something to behold, though how I wish it were focused entirely on creation rather than destruction. In North Korea, Kim Jong-un's sister has received a promotion during a rare party congress, becoming a full department director in the ruling Workers' Party. Let us hope that all leadership, regardless of where it exists in our world, will be guided by a desire to serve the people with compassion and justice. Finally, tensions have unfortunately escalated between Afghanistan and Pakistan after Pakistan launched airstrikes on militant targets in Afghanistan. The United Nations reports that at least 13 civilians were killed. My heart breaks for every innocent life lost in conflict. These precious souls are not statistics, but beloved children of God with families who mourn them deeply. As we reflect on these stories from around our world, let us remember that each headline represents real people with hopes, dreams, and families just like yours. In this season, may we renew our commitment to being peacemakers and bridge builders wherever we find ourselves. Let us look for ways to bring comfort to those who suffer, hope to those in despair, and love to all we encounter. Until tomorrow, may your hearts be filled with peace and goodwill toward all. This is Santa Claus wishing you a blessed evening.